Every issue has two sides. Most shows pick one. We argue both. Not for clicks, not for comfort, but because the truth loves tension between ideas, power, and the people they affect. This is Mike and Nick, left versus right. 30 minutes. No talking points. No safe takes. No holds barred. Let's go.
Let's go.
Coming in hot, Nick Iones. How are you, my brother? How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How about you?
Good.
You kicking ass and taking names?
Yeah, I got one name on this list. His name is Nick Iones.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to rough you up, buddy.
Do you ever, before we get into it, before we mix it up, do you ever step back and look at the chaos in the world and just take a deep breath and then realize, okay, the world is on fire, but in the Nick Iones bubble, things are grooving pretty okay?
No, I never do that.
Do you think that would be a good idea?
I love chaos. I thrive on chaos. I love it. I want more.
You want more? Okay, I always I learned this from Batman.
I have so much chaos in my life every day. I say, bring it on.
Some men just want to watch the world burn. Is that what you're saying?
If I say I plead the fifth on that one.
Okay.
I don't want people to think that I love insanity.
No, but you're comfortable when things get chaotic.
I just I like excitement, but I guess we don't want to see the world burn because then life is going to be difficult after that.
Well, listen, I take a step back once in a while. I would think it's similar to meditation. Like, I just take a deep breath. I go on a little bike ride, and I say, "Oh, there's some beautiful nature. Oh, there's a beautiful tree. There's a mink. Like, what's going on in this world of mine?" And then I just feel like if I go hyper local and I look at within, I go, "Oh my family's healthy. Things aren't so bad." It helps you get some perspective that the world may be chaotic, but you can have a bubble of peace.
I just think I try to just be grateful for whatever I have every day.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
I take that mindset.
Well, listen, there's a few topics I'm No, but you're wearing the Building Success t-shirt.
Yeah, I am.
Where do I score some good swag like that?
You got to go, well,
you got to know people.
You don't have to know people these
days.
You just go to that, what's that website again? I don't remember.
There's a website. Okay, so number of topics.
I'm not plugging it, though.
I want
because I can't remember.
I want to cover a few topics with you, Nick Iones, and then I'm going to start.
I'm bringing the topics.
Well, we're on the same page here. Why don't you let me drive? And if I drive us off a cliff,
you're not driving. I'm
driving.
Over. Okay, the left doesn't drive. The right
Nick.
Always drives. I got to battle today. I'm going to go. Last week you weren't in person. Now I got to battle you hard today.
Oh yeah. I should tell the listenership we're right beside each other here. But I'm going to play a little news clip and we're going to talk about this.
All right, let's go.
Breaking news for you this morning: Edmonton MP Matt Genereux is crossing the floor to the Liberal government. The Prime Minister announcing the crossover this morning. Genereux represents Edmonton Riverbend and has been a Conservative politician for nearly 14 years. Now, he announced he would be stepping down as an MP last year after crossover rumors were swirling. He's the third Conservative MP to cross the floor to the Liberals. They're still short of a majority. He has just released a statement. We'll have more on what Matt Genereux has to say about staying in politics after saying he would leave and now joining the federal Liberals. You can follow the latest on ctvnewsedmonton.ca.
Nick, what are your thoughts when somebody who is elected as a member of one party, like Matt Genereux here, he was elected as a Conservative Party member, and then he crosses the floor and becomes a member of the Liberals, even though there was no election? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's disgraceful, to be honest with you. Totally disgraceful. He's doing a disservice to the voters that voted him in. He's a traitor to his party. He's a traitor to. Well, I would say he's really let down those voters who voted for him, and I don't think it's right. And I don't think it's right. I mean, at the end of the day, if the objective is to get a majority government, which it could be, I don't know. I don't think they're going to make it because they're too far away.
Well,
and,
they're one seat away, right?
Is it?
I think it's one seat away. But
no,
my question
thought it
is,
was 163 or something like that. Last time I did the math.
We'll have to check the math on that. But my question is, when somebody because he has the right to cross the floor to the Liberals.
He doesn't. He has an obligation to represent the people that voted for him. So that's what his obligation is.
Right, but I'm wondering, are you suggesting that if he wants to do so, it should trigger a by-election so the electorate could decide if they want a member of the Liberal Party to be their MP?
Yeah, that could be an option. Sure, he can step down and do like some
by-election.
By-election, yeah. Why not?
So
I mean, that's one thing. If you're not comfortable with your party and you say, "Look, I've been voted in, but I'm not happy with the current leader of the party or the direction the Conservatives are going," then he can step down. But switching parties I don't think it's good. And let's be honest, they probably do it for a reason. They're doing it.
You think he's like bought off somehow?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, pure speculation. But let me just say my thoughts on this.
Pure speculation, but you don't do things like that for nothing.
Well, here's my thought. A couple of things. One is, it's a parliamentary system. You vote for the representative. You're not voting for the party. I know people vote for the party. No, but technically you're voting for the individual.
People are voting they're voting for the individual and the party.
Okay, but
let's be honest. Like, come on, Mike. Don't say that. Oh, I'm voting for this guy. There's like, let's say 98% of the people don't even know who the MP is.
Well, that's sad to hear.
It is sad to hear, but it's probably true.
So my MP,
only Liberals think of the MPs.
Okay, well, see, I'm not a liberal. You're doing capital L liberal there, and I'll point out I don't belong to the Liberal Party. I don't always vote for the Liberal Party, but currently,
oh my God, I'm shocked.
No, I'm surprised you didn't know that. Come on, we got to learn more about each other.
You're not too left. Yeah,
I'm not. Listen, I'm going to read a comment from YouTube about that.
You're a biker.
I do cycle, but so does your. We'll get to him later. But so does your buddy Brad Bradford. He's a big cyclist too, by the way.
Well, that's good.
So in my riding, there's a MP named James Maloney, who I know personally. I've had him over for chats. I quite like the man. I'm voting for James Maloney. He happens to be a member of the Liberal Party. But if he were to decide to switch to the Conservative Party, all that means is I would have to seriously reconsider my vote next election. But I voted for James Maloney.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
But not everybody does that. People vote for the party. They vote for, they vote for the leader in this election. But so there are some people that consider the MP there are a lot of people that don't.
Understood. But you'll concur no rules were broken.
But let me ask you a question here. Yeah. You don't agree either, do you?
I don't think any rules are broken here. It leaves a little bit of a bad taste in your mouth.
What you think?
I think that it may be a reflection of the fact that Mark Carney is ruling more like a conservative than a liberal. Like, if you look at Mark Carney, because with regards to pipelines and the environment, many of his... We'll see. But I think he's the most... he's the more Harper-esque leader than Pierre Poilievre.
He's better than Trudeau, that's for sure.
So let's talk for a minute about Pierre Poilievre versus Mark Carney.
Not much, but he's better.
Justin Trudeau was in town because his brother had a film debut, and Justin was...
Oh, who cares?
You don't
He should
care.
leave the country.
Well, he has
go to Mexico with the drug lords or whatever.
All right, listen, Nick, he has the right to be here. The man was our prime minister. Show him some respect here.
No way.
Speaking of respect...
I'm not going to respect that guy.
What do you think of the way Pierre Poilievre handles our relations with the United States versus Mark Carney?
Okay, are we getting into that?
Well, yeah, we're having a conversation.
So are we segueing into that? Well, I think there's two main differences that I think Poilievre is more of like aligning and would like to align more so with the United States and engage with the United States, which is what Carney should be doing. However, I like the fact that Carney is looking for deals elsewhere too. So I would say that on the one side, you've got Carney who's looking for other deals with other countries, which I think is fantastic. great idea because, Canada needs to go get other export markets and stuff like that. And I think that's a really amazing thing. However, he's completely failing with the U.S. Negotiations, and he's completely failing. Like, we need to nip this in the bud. Okay.
What does that mean, Nick?
It means that it's basically you got this big problem over here, and nothing's being done about it. We started doing things about it. He started contacting Trump. All of these things, things were moving in. I would say that at some point they were moving in the wrong direction and the right direction, and then there is some mishaps, I believe, on both sides.
Kind word.
But I would say I like what Poilievre is saying now, and I think that even Stephen Harper, actually probably it's a philosophy that he's borrowing from Stephen Harper, which is saying we've got to engage with the United States. Like, all of our trade is with the United States. A good majority of our trade is with the United States. It's not going to disappear.
Now,
and you know what? We love the United States. Let's be honest. I love USA.
Well, we know you do, of course.
But you don't?
I used to.
Well, why?
They used to be an ally. I now consider them the greatest threat to this country.
No, I don't. That's ridiculous.
Well, we're different people. That's why we're having these great chats. But I will remind the listenership, and I'll remind you, Nick, the idea is that we respect each other's opinions. We are civil. We have a conversation. You can say a sentence like that. We love the United States.
We do love the United States. Let's be honest. We're just some people. We've got this huge bad taste in our mouth. And look at the Olympics, the men's hockey Olympics. We played an amazing game.
Yes, we did.
But we lost. It was these things happen. And at the end of the day, be happy for the USA. They haven't won in a long time, and it was a good thing for them.
Let's not get carried away, Nick. I felt no happiness for the United States when
that's not true.
Jack Hughes scored that goal.
They played well, and you know what? That goalie was great. So
Connor Hellebuck, yeah. Goalie was great. It was as close as it could be. We had many opportunities. I won't do a hockey talk now, except to say that
we don't want to get too much.
We're not getting too much into it. But I was not even a little bit happy for the United States.
I was saying that Canada did great, but you have to be like a gentleman and say, hey, you know what? These things happen, and I guess at this stage they won, and it was a bit of sheer luck, I guess, at the end of the day. But both teams played very well.
Yeah, a good time was had by all.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with the USA. We need to
let me pick on that thread for a moment here, if you don't mind. So the president of the United States of America is Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Now, you talk about how you prefer Poilievre's strategy where you engage the U.S., but I'm going to bring up a news item that we can talk about that'll tie into all of that.
The bridge?
The bridge. Because I just want to remind you, Nick, that
you like my fake laugh?
Yes, that's a laugh made for podcasts. You sound, earlier I quoted the Joker. You sound like the Joker.
I sound like the Joker.
I'm Batman if you're the Joker. You know that, right?
Okay, but I'm going to poison you then.
Okay, well, I'll live to fight another day. Okay, so
sorry,
and we're going to play this clip. This is a longer clip, but it gives us great context. But hold on.
Let's go with the bridge.
I'm setting a little context here, which is I believe that we're negotiating with a madman, okay? I don't think it makes any sense to engage with somebody who is behaving like the Joker. I know you like chaos, but some of us don't like chaos. So I'm going to play a news clip. It's a bit longer than the last one.
Is the Joker
a regular Canadian? He doesn't get to write $1 million check to protect their business.
But people on both sides of the border feel that's what happened when Matthew Maroon, the billionaire owner of the Ambassador Bridge, donated $1 million to a pro-Trump campaign account less than a month before the U.S. president threatened the opening of the Gordie Howe International Bridge.
I mean, it just confirms what we knew all along, that this had to do with who funds the president as opposed to any significant or meaningful issue regarding the bridge.
It's fully built. It's fully connected. Any delay now, I would look at purely as a billionaire play to try and install, and thwart the Gordie Howe's success.
It feels like if you have the money, you get ahead of the line and you get to determine the outcomes that are in your favor.
According to a monthly campaign finance statement, the 7-figure contribution was made to MAGA Inc. on January 16th. Now, MAGA Inc. is a super political action committee, or PAC, supporting President Trump and his current political endeavors.
It's a way to placate your donor who thinks that they're going to get something out of it when the courts didn't work. Nothing else worked so far. It makes no sense any way you look at it, except for the fact that there's such an overt money trail going on right now.
Paints the picture of
Is this thing over?
corruption.
We need to give the people
in
proper
American
context.
politics.
You don't want to hear the
Shanna
rest?
Ports is senior legal counsel with Campaign Legal Center, or CLC, in
over.
Washington. The organization is a political watchdog focused on government ethics and election law. According to CLC,
doesn't
there
look like
is an
it's
overt
ending.
trail of brazen
It's
trade-offs.
We see so much corruption happening in the open, but there's also money being exchanged behind closed doors, and it's impossible to even track what sort of favors come out of that.
Ports says the system needs reform because the influence of super PACs is not being enforced properly.
It creates more and more loopholes for super PACs to cozy up even tighter to candidates and to make contributions to super PACs from these large donors even more valuable, which I think is why we're seeing so many of these exchanges.
Bob Belichico, CTV News.
Yeah, CTV.
What do you say that
Well,
for?
listen,
Why do you say
okay,
that?
first
Not
of
a
all-
credible news source to you?
No, but these clips are all in favor of your point of
No,
view.
this is CTV reporting. I actually
Yeah, but
purposely
you know
didn't
what?
pull. I
why
purposely.
don't you find clips that are strengthening my argument?
They're all like that because I'm telling you, there's no bias at play. But I just want to say something. I purposely didn't pull the CBC clips, even though they say essentially the same thing, because I didn't want guff from you. I picked CTV on purpose.
No, CTV is a joke too. Anyways,
Please write down the news sources you allow me to play.
First of all, it's just okay. That clip is BS. Okay.
Wow.
It's just a left wing propaganda tool. But all I'm going to say is this. This is all BS. Okay. I think I'm going to even say points to Mark Carney. He basically rebutted the rebuked. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Thanks. He already rebuked it. So there's agreements in place. Everything he was saying was false, and
Right.
I don't think this is going to go anywhere.
Everything who was
It's all
saying,
BS.
everything who was saying was false.
Trump.
So that's the man you want.
No. Listen, you don't try to make me pro-Trump, anti-Trump. Okay, I am saying that this is BS. What he did, what he said, and our prime minister responded in kind perfectly. But the whole thing is that it's a BS thing. Nothing's going to happen. That's all I'm going to say.
But the fact that the president of the United States can make false statements and then threaten to shut down something, and you heard in that clip, it was paid for, it's done, it's all done on the up and up. That's the kind of person you're negotiating
You
with.
have to. Well, yeah.
And you said right now, I just heard you say you like how Mark.
He's a bastard negotiator.
He's a lunatic. You just said right now you like how Mark Carney.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So why would you want Pierre Poilievre handling these U.S. relations?
You can't trap me. Don't look at me, man. Listen,
I like looking at you.
Each issue,
We're friends.
Each issue is different. Okay. And all I'm going to say is that for this particular issue, I'm not saying that Carney's he's going to always be a weak prime minister. Okay. He's got some good ideas, but he's not engaging with the U.S. He's got to do that. He effed up the conversation. He was with silly statements that didn't go anywhere, and they're not going to do him any credit. And he's got to get through this. So focus on the prize. Got to grind through these negotiations. And you know what? I like Poilievre is focused on the USA. The USA is our USA is our trading partner, and we have to get this thing done. Wrapped up.
Do you trust?
We got to get all this uncertainty behind us, and it's been too long. He was elected on the basis that he could deal with Trump. He's not doing a good job.
Fascinating, but you think he did
There you
a
go.
great job.
Boom,
with
back in your face.
Well, you said a lot of words. I don't know how much substance there was
I
there.
said a lot of great stuff.
Do you trust Pierre Poilievre to protect the sovereignty of this country?
Yeah, of course. You don't?
No.
Why? He's going to give it away?
I think he would sell us out in a heartbeat.
That's ridiculous.
Well, I'm not. It's too. To me, it's too important. So again, I'm not a member of the Liberal
Party.
Party.
He's not the leader
I don't always
right
vote
now.
Liberal, but I'm glad Mark
leader.
Carney is the Prime Minister at this point in this country's history. And it sounds like
the thing is, like, there are things that he's doing that I can say that I'm happy with, but there are he's just got this. We have this left wing insanity in our country as well.
Do you think
too left wing? It's too left wing. It's too insane.
Well, it must be.
And I'm going to give you my next point, because
yeah.
You know what? We're going to get on to the State of the Union, because
Okay.
you know what? Look at the left wing over there. We are adopting a lot of the philosophies that come out, or importing a lot of the philosophies that come in from the United States, from the left wing, which I'm not like a super right wing either. Okay. But I am conservative. But a lot of the ideas that are coming out of the United States, importing here in Canada and globally, is insane. It doesn't sit well with me.
Can you be specific?
No.
Can you give me like at least one example? Because I actually don't have a clue what you're talking about.
Yeah. I think
one example. Because I was going to ask you what you thought of the State of the Union.
I hear about things that are being taught to children in the school these days.
Well, I have 2 kids in school. Ask me about it.
Well, I don't know.
I talk to my kids every day. What did you learn? What's going on?
I hear they're not teaching Canadian history properly.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it? Because they've started telling you that we tried to assimilate our Indigenous people, putting them into residential schools?
Why would you? So there you go.
So you don't think that should be taught? That's the only thing I can think of that's been added.
It should be taught in the context of no, but I think there's this huge whole push for Indigenous people's history.
Sure, there
in
is.
our country, and it's too much.
You don't
Teach
think
Canadian history?
You know, they were. I'm going to just say. I'm going to say this once.
You want to add in, a segment that deals with the Indigenous issues that occurred in Canada.
Right.
Then add it in there. Don't make it a central focus.
Okay, I'm just going to say the obvious.
I'm going to say, probably the audience is going to kill me, but I don't believe in this trans stuff either. It's BS.
Okay, I'm not even sure
what don't touch children, okay? It's not a good thing. Leave them to be and grow up naturally the way they want to, okay? Don't give them medications.
Okay.
This is insane.
Nick, I got to save you from yourself here. You've gone beyond the scope of this particular podcast.
Okay.
But I will tell you,
politics.
As a father I have a 9-year-old and an 11-year-old, okay? That's grade 4 and 6. And I know what's being taught in the schools, okay? And essentially, they're teaching Indigenous history where we neglected in the past, because Indigenous history is Canadian history. We haven't chopped off Louis Riel is also Indigenous history, to be quite honest.
I'm not there.
We haven't chopped off. Well, you're not
I've
there.
I've heard
why do you speak?
Are.
Well, who did you hear it from? You don't trust CTV.
I heard it
you don't
from
trust
my
CBC.
sister. I heard it from my sister, who's got a kid in school.
And you're telling me your sister's kid
they're not learning anything about Canadian history. It's super Indigenous focused, which I love Indigenous people. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with anybody, but we can't have this complete change in focus. And then this land acknowledgement BS too that they do.
You don't like land acknowledgement?
I hate it.
Well,
I think it's a joke.
Well, you're right, because we should just give the land back.
Give the land back. Either give the land back and shut up.
I'm not.
But they're not going to do that.
I don't radically disagree with you on that point. I feel like it is an empty sentiment sometimes.
Yeah,
there needs to be some actual weight behind it beyond saying these words to salvage your guilt.
Look at the history in general. We did a lot of bad things in human history.
Yes,
but we don't do that anymore. Okay, most of the time.
Well, that sentence is problematic to me, because we are still committing.
There are third world countries that kill people all the time, like Christians and stuff like that. A lot of human rights abuse. There's still human trafficking, all that kind of stuff, and we don't see it so much here. But that's human history. But anyway, State of the Union. Let's finish up. So,
finish your thoughts on State of the Union. But I will just say that in this show,
I have a very balanced opinion about the State of the Union. You'll hear it.
Before you say that sentence, because I want to hear your balance before we shout out a fellow.
I think people are going to hate me.
It's our show. If they hate us, they hate us. But I just want to make sure you know that we can't really have a discussion about something when you don't know what you're talking about. Like, we can't talk about what's being taught in schools because you heard something from your sister. Let me talk to a student who has been taught this, because I talk to 2 students every single day. Every single day. I'm telling you, you're overreacting to some
okay, but it's still
speculation.
There. It's still there.
Yeah, they are
There's
teaching
still
Indigenous
elements
history.
of insanity in our current culture, in our current government, and it's got to go. Let's get back to basics.
And what are basics exactly?
I don't know. You just go live your life and that's it. Everybody shut the hell up.
Don't worry
interfere.
about the real Canadian history. Just teach the good stuff. Vimy Ridge,
Yahoo! No. I don't say that. I say you should learn what happened to the Indigenous people. I almost said Aboriginal. The Indigenous people. So you can't even say Aboriginal
Sure,
anymore.
you can. The proper nomenclature right now
say
is
Indian either.
No, you know why? India is a different country. It's in South Asia.
Indian.
It was a misnomer. We never should have called. Yes, he thought he was in India, so they called him Indian.
Okay,
Indians live in India.
I'm not going to get into that, but
that name's ridiculous.
The whole point is that there's a lot of elements that are just everything that we're doing and saying. A lot of things we're doing and saying in this country is just completely.
Well, we'll
ridiculous.
pick up on that thread in a future episode because on our way out here, I need to know what Nick Iannis thought of the State of the Union.
It was perfect State of the Union. No, I'm joking. So I think it was a bit of a circus, to be honest with you. Okay, there were some things that were good. There were some things that were bad. You can't blame one party or the other. But we used to have a very civil State of the Union. We don't have that anymore. But it's also, both parties that are at fault here. This whole the whole shenanigans with the Democrats sitting over there and wearing white. And, having signs and all these kinds of things and people getting kicked out of the State of the Union. Come on, get some civility back. And
sure, but if you elect a clown, you're going to have a circus.
Hang on. And I would say that there are a lot of moments that I think Donald Trump is inappropriate, where he's basically calling out the Democrats, saying they're crazy. It's going a little bit too far. It should be a very exciting day, State of the Union, hearing about all the good things that are happening in the United States. But they are philosophically so far apart right now that it turned into a circus. I don't mind the hockey players coming and, probably we didn't do that. There's a bit of probably over dramatic, but for State of the Union, because I don't think anyone's really done that. But he's bringing in American heroes. So if you love America and you're a United States citizen, well, who cares if he brings the hockey team in there? There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with bringing up issues like people who have been suffering under, let's call it illegal immigration, and they were injured by it, and they believe that this is, their duty to protect Americans. I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. But I think that if someone survives something like a young child, the people should have the respect and the decency and the courtesy to stand up and applaud for that child that she overcame something. So there were many moments. I just think it turned into a big circus. Both sides are at fault, in my opinion.
That's a wild take. Considering
that's not a wild take.
The president of the United States.
Yeah, but look at the Democrats. They had some frog show, sideshow, draining the swamp. Come on, just go and you're an elected official. Go listen. Go sit in the State of the Union. You don't have to like it, but be professional. There's great. I'll give you some examples. That guy Mandami from New York City. He goes and visits Trump. He wants to make a deal. I respect that. You may not like communist Mandami, but he's
not a communist.
Yeah, he's a communist. But at the end of the day, I like that. I like Democrats who go to the other side
and get shit done.
And same with John Fetterman. Everybody was against this guy. He had a stroke. They said he's the worst senator. But you know what? He has a very balanced position. And you know what? That's what we need. That's what we need all over the world. People who are willing to, you don't have to like the politics, you don't have to like the guy, but you know what? Go and engage people. You'll see what's going to happen. You're going to make the world a better place.
Nick, I need a shower after this one. Love our chats, man. I love it. Every couple of weeks, we're going to mix it up, and we're going to continue to respect each other's opinion.
Yeah.
Even when we disagree. You said some wild things. I need to listen back and process it all. But we'll be back again in a couple of weeks.
I'm starting to get through to you, I think. But you know what? Take more cold showers, okay? You might straighten out.
I'm going to need more than a cold shower.
Okay. Well, don't turn me into the bad guy, okay?
You know what? Did the Batman turn Joker into the bad guy?
Whatever.
Thank you for listening to Mike and Nick, Left versus Right. By the way, the YouTube comment that I teased and never read to you, it said, Mike is as left-wing as Mark Carney. And I think that was a suggestion. I'm not that left.
Who said that?
A commenter. This last... excuse me, I'm all choked up. Last episode was on YouTube, and a YouTube commenter left that. They listened and said I was as left-wing as Mark Carney. I think that's essentially a shot at Mark Carney, to be honest with you. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks.
Wow.